What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Hunting Happiness podcast. This is going to be the next episode and a topic that I'm really interested in getting involved in with you all. First, I want to let you know where you can find this podcast. So this is available on the YouTube channel, Chris P. Austin, and available on any of the podcast hosting platforms. Just search Hunting Happiness with Chris P. Austin or go to the website, chrispaustin.com/podcast. So today's episode, we're going to get into how you can crush work and school in 2022. So last night, I was working with a young lady who lives a distance away from my primary facility, and half joking, half seriously, she said, you know, my situation sucks. I have school, and I have this responsibility, and I have that responsibility, and it was a really teachable moment, but it was a cool opportunity to tell her a story from my life. And I'm going to tell you all the same exact story from my life. And this really is going to help you absolutely crush work and school when it comes to 2022. So when I was in the 12th grade, I was getting really into this sport, the sport of volleyball. I was getting really into it. Like, I found it when I was a freshman, 9th grader in high school. And I built up 10th grade, 11th grade, was playing as much as I could locally. And in 12th grade, I wanted to take it really seriously. And so what happened was, and this is a transparent, honest, straight up story. My mom wasn't so into me playing volleyball at that period in time. You know, she was really supportive of me pursuing being a doctor, being a lawyer, really crushing academia. And for me, I was really into sports at the time. I had a different lane I wanted to go. So I was getting good grades in school. I was handling my business there. But I wanted to really pursue this sports thing. So I came up with this grandiose idea of, I want to play volleyball at the highest level. I want to try to pursue Division I volleyball. And I want to try to pursue, you know, playing at a place that I've never played before. And so that was my goal at the time. That was something that I wanted to do and push forward and work toward. So what I did, and I didn't have the backing of my family to do this, so this is a moment of like, don't try this at home. But I'm trying to share with you like the impact that this sport had on me and how much that I really wanted this goal of mine. So no lie, I literally would drive from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was. I would get out of school at 12:36. I was a senior in high school, so I only had 4 classes. I would get out of school at 12:36, and I would drive to Southern California. I would arrive there just after 5 o'clock, and I would practice with this club team who I was interested in from around 5:30 to 7:30. And immediately after the practice in Southern California, Golden West College, I would get back in my car at like 7:35, 7:40, and I would drive back to Las Vegas from California. And I repeated that pattern 3 times a week for a month's time. So one more time, I'm going to give it to you. I would drive after school, senior in high school. So I had had my license for about a year and a month about. So I would drive from Las Vegas, Nevada when I got out of school, 12:36 p.m. I would arrive in California just after 5 p.m. I would practice from 5:30 to 7:30 at Golden West College. And then I'd get back in my car and I would drive back to Las Vegas, Nevada. And all of this was being done at the time without my mom knowing. So I literally would like just jump in the car and go. And anytime I got on the phone, it was, you know, I've got volleyball or I've got this after school type situation. So the point of this story is not to tell a fib. The point of this story is not to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. The point of the story is I wanted something so badly, so intensely at the time, and I didn't feel like I had this really fluid straight line to it. I didn't have, hey, yes, let's just lay the groundwork, let's set the foundation and put these puzzle pieces together and let's go through this together. It was not linear for me. It was very jagged, the road. And so for me, I wanted it so badly that I was going to get outside of a comfort zone to make it happen. Whether that was driving 8 hours in one day multiple times a week. Whether that was having to make the distance and travel very far away for what I thought at the time would be a higher level for me. And This story is challenging to replicate. It's something that is not easily done, so I don't want to make you feel like you can just snap your fingers and do this, but what you can do is you can really put towards dedication and discomfort towards what it is you want to do, if it's actually what you want to do. I run into so many people, and then there's also the people who I work with who have this feeling of they can't until. I can't pursue what I want until my family is all settled. I can't pursue what I want until I get to a certain financial number. I'm not able to pursue what I want until I get to a certain knowledge base. And that's just not reality. The reality is you could pursue what you want now. So when it comes to work in school, having an ideology that school's challenging and it's not worth your time, you are going to be able to do a lot of the things you want in life because of school. And let me break it down. I'm not necessarily saying every single thing you learn in school as a youth or even as an adult is going to be information that you use in the real world, because that's a common feeling, right? When am I ever going to use this practically in the real world? It's not about that. Going through the school process, more so than the nuggets and the knowledge you pick up in class, it's about proving that you can accomplish something challenging. It is challenging to get up 5 days a week and go to school, stay there the whole day, lock in, get grades. That's challenging. But accept the challenge. Accept the challenge and understand if you can get through that, you're going to be able to get through so many things in life. That's what school is about. School is not necessarily about you opening the textbook, reading the chapter, taking away that information on American history, and then being able to apply it to a test. You're right. A lot of times that's not the way the world's going to work. But the world is going to throw you challenges, and you having sample size to say, I'm able to successfully fish my way through these challenges and make it happen, and come out with a tuna or come out with a whatever kind of fish you like on the other side. That's the deal right there. Putting in the time and effort to prove to yourself that you're capable of doing hard things. And it's the same exact thing when it comes to work. If you feel like you're working in a field that you don't necessarily enjoy, or you're working in a field that doesn't feel like it has growth, or you're working in a field that doesn't feel like it feeds your soul, figure out immediately what does feed your soul and then put energy towards it. And don't be nervous or scared that you're not going to be able to put food on the table. Don't be nervous or scared that you're not going to be able to make it, or that you don't have the knowledge base, or that you're too old or too young or inexperienced or whatever the case. Like, be willing to utilize the story I just told you blindly. I had never played club volleyball, ever. It wasn't like I had 4 years of experience and I was like, okay, now it's time to make this next jump. I had never played club volleyball. I had never seen a Division I game in person. These things weren't a reality for me. All I knew was I wanted it so badly, and there was something that presented itself in front of me in terms of information. This club tryout, this team who needed a player at a high level. And so the move was, I'm just going to go. And did it end up causing problems? Yes. My mom found out a month into this process and was so pissed. Like, you can't imagine. She was so pissed. But I look back and I go, it's worth it. Because for me, the lessons learned in that period of time proved to me I could do hard things. I could get up and make the drive if it really mattered. I could play with people who were perceived to be at a higher level than I was, who were from a different place, who weren't familiar. Those things I proved to myself in that time, and all it took was that 1 month of doing it, and I learned that, and I kept that. And keeping that was what allowed me to eventually leave University of Hawaii after getting cut and go to a different school, to make another transfer, to go into these teams that I didn't know any of the players or have any history with them or background or any kind of comfort level, to go into starting a business in the pandemic and just looking to crush it. All these things began with that exact situation. Me making the decision to just go. And I'm just going to crush it. I'm just going to go and I'm going to make it happen. When I get there, I'm not going to be nervous. I'm just going to go crush it. And I would say those things out loud to myself, literally in the car on the way. With my music up, driving on the freeway, getting to the 405, I'm going to go crush it. I'm going to play so well. I'm going to show them. I'm going to do my thing. I was saying these things to myself. And so I didn't play perfect. I wasn't the greatest player ever, but I made it happen. And that was my goal. My goal was to be able to make it happen. So for you, with school, with work, less complaining about what your situation is. More action on what you're doing about it. Are you willing to take risks to get what you want? As long as you're not hurting anybody physically, as long as you're not jumping in front of other people and cutting off their lanes, go push for what you want. That's the move. Start putting in energy to what it is you want, because you're going to find yourself happier in the long run. And that's what it's about. It's about hunting down that happiness. It's about hunting down what is going to feed your soul and help you get to a new level. So this story is not meant to make you like me. The story is not meant to say, go out today and drive 4 hours one way and 4 hours the other way to do something that you want to do. Maybe that is your move. Maybe that is your story. But the reason I'm telling you this story is so that you can understand the value in pursuing what it is you want. Because if you pursue what you actually want, not what you're told you should want, not what is popular, not what society says is the way, if you pursue what you actually want, you're going to have the ability to crush your school and work in 2022. You're going to crush it. Like, you're going to do so well. But you have to believe that you're going to crush it, and you have to be willing to put that energy in and go towards what you want to do. Like now. Go now. Not like, let me put the plan in place. Let me get my business plan together. Let me get my 5-year plan. Just go. Just today. Start going. Putting in energy. Start doing the research on what it's going to be. And you are going to end up absolutely happier. That's the move. That's what I want for you today. That's what I want for you in 2022. So make it happen. If you want to hear more on this podcast, chrispaustin.com/podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. All 2022 and beyond, I'm bringing you this content that's going to help you get to a new level. So you're going to hear stories. You're going to hear from other people who we bring on the podcast. You're going to hear from people who are in the business world, Olympians, doctors, everything. Okay, people who are really crushing their fields. But more than anything, I want to find out the unlocks to happiness and be able to help you get to yours. We'll see you next podcast.